All right, folks. So we're looking at our main conclusion questions. And this is question number 21. So a psychiatrist says we are learning that neurochemical imbalances can cause behavior ranging from extreme mental illness to less serious but irritating behavior, such as obsessive fantasizing, petulance, or embarrassment. So we've got these neurochemical imbalances going on, and they cause different behavior, and there's a range. Okay, that's what we focus on. If we need more details, we can go back into the stimulus. So it says these findings, that neurochemical imbalances cause behavior in a range. Our findings will promote compassion and tolerance. And then we've got a condition when looking at mental illness, quirk, or mere difference between two persons. Since being mentally healthy can now begin to be seen as simply having the same neurochemical balances as most people. So they're saying these findings promote compassion and tolerance. Um, when we're looking at all these things, so there's the condition. Then we have since. So that's a premise that's being given. All right. So what we do, we know this is a main conclusion question. And we know that there's only going to be one right answer. There's only, most accurately expresses. There's only one that's going to accurately get at what the psychiatrist is trying to argue. So if we think about what our bottom line is, they're saying we've got these findings of neurochemical imbalances and what it does to behavior. And then they talk about, it might promote compassion and intolerance. And that's because we're looking at, how do we view mental health um, within the framing of neurochemical balances, whether it's imbalance or a normal balance. So let's look at our answer choices and see what helps us get to, the author's point that there might be some mental compassion and tolerance, because that's, this is our conclusion right here. That's like the bottom line. So A, understanding the role of neurochemical behavior, of the neurochemical in behavior, so that's looking pretty good, will foster empathy toward others. This is looking like a pretty good answer. If it were me, I probably would, check this off and then just skim through my other answer choices. If you were out of time, you had maybe 3 minutes left to get through the rest of your questions, you might circle this, flag it, move on, and see if you've got time at the end to kind of check. But let's go through the rest of our answer choices and see where we are. B, neurochemical imbalances can cause mental illness and other behaviors. So this is a part of our argument for sure. That's the very first thing that's mentioned up here. That's not the takeaway. The psychiatrist is saying this to establish that there's some findings. And then, if their conclusion is that we're trying to get to a space where we're having empathy, this answer choice needs to mention empathy, because the neurochemical imbalances is just a building block. All right. So we'll go ahead and mark B out. It's just not enough of the overall roadmap. C, neurochemical balances and imbalances are the main determinants of mental behavior. Now, this answer choice, is a little problematic because we don't talk about the main determinants of anything. We just know that neurochemical imbalances can cause. It doesn't say causes more than others. It doesn't say, neurochemical imbalances and X, Y, and Z all do these things. And so that's, we're allowed to be picky. We're allowed to mark this out because of that one word. There's just not enough information given in this stimulus to say that it's the main determinant. However, if they had marked this out, this would be a completely fine answer choice. It might be true, but it would still not be the conclusion. All right, now let's look at D. Being mentally healthy is a matter of having the same neurochemical balances as most people. So that's, they're repeating the same language given to us at the end of the sentence. But is the author really trying to get us to talk about being mentally healthy? Is that the author's main focus? And the focus is not being mentally healthy. And if we kind of look at what's in the stimulus, The stimulus, the end part, that's a premise, since being mentally healthy can now be seen as simply having the same neurochemical balances as most people. The premise shows up as an answer choice. And if we have a premise, our premise is not going to be the main conclusion. Premises support the main conclusion, and main conclusions are supported by premises. So it's close. You might choose this one if you see it in the stimulus, you recognize it, you know it's true, but it is not enough to be the main conclusion just because something is true. All right. We need to know that it's being supported by everything else in the argument. Now let's look at E. Advances in neurochemistry enhance our theories of mental illness. Well, are we talking about enhancing theories here? Are we talking about advances in neurochemistry? So we've got some learnings, but advances is plural here. Are we talking about multiple advances? Are we talking about multiple theories? We're not. And you know, this was probably a compelling answer choice that says that we are, you know, enhancing our understanding through theories. But you know, we got to be really, really picky. That is not the main point. We're not really splicing out the theories. Now, if the stimulus had talked about the psychiatrist explaining all these different theories and how all of our findings, you know, advance new theories about how mental illness works, then that might be the right answer choice. But A is our best answer choice here because it really just wants us to link to chemical balances or imbalances and fostering empathy. This is the only answer choice that talks about empathy here. And that's why A would be our answer.